This week on Love Travel, Live Travel, we're celebrating National Bourbon Day, and we're giving it 110%. Plus cruise ships. Gen Z is setting sail, and we examine the do's and don'ts while you're on your voyage. All that and a heck of a lot more on this National Bourbon Day and Flag Day show that Love Travel, Live Travel, starting right now. I had a lot of competing voices in my head when I was doing that. So,
do you hear voices?
I do hear voices. Hey guys, happy Friday.
Hey everybody.
It's Love Travel, Live Travel. I am Joshua Harrell, and this is
Jason Block.
And we are your co-pilots on this fantastic voyage through Friday afternoon.
It is that time of the week where we can sit back, relax, and have a little fun.
Yes, and we've been on the road for a little bit.
Have we?
We have, and so I sound a little worse for wear. So, but that, when people like to hear the sound of their own voices, I really like this voice. So I might
kind
talk
of raspy.
Yeah, it's like she's got Betty Davis eyes. So anyway. That I'm just saying I might overdo it with the voice because that's what I've been doing. And it's really because I've been screaming and shouting, when people are on stage and things like that. I like to give back. I'm a giver. I'm a giver.
You are a great member of the audience.
Just
giving your energy to whoever's on stage.
Giving it the best that I've got. Yep. So anyway, if you are new to the show and you're like, who are these random people?
Here?
Yeah. And why are there liquor bottles all over the table? That is not normal. But what is normal is we like to have a grand time on Friday afternoons together and with you guys, especially those of you who have joined us live and who are in the chat. So please come on in to the chat and tell us where you're watching from. Share some wins, share some challenges. Just talk to us. And while you're there in the YouTube, please subscribe and ring that bell. You can ring my bell. I told you it's gonna happen. I'm going for full no voice. But yeah, so you can be notified when this show goes live, as well as other shows that we have slotted and planned to come out in the future. So yes, you want to stay connected to us.
Daniela is first in on the chat
today. Hey Daniela!
Happy Friday, and she says, "Looks like y'all are having a great Friday." Indeed we are. Indeed we are. And while this might not be normal, it could be. No.
No, I don't.
What do we have? Like, where did all this come from?
So, all right.
Because this normally is not in the studio.
Right. This is not.
We
and
don't
it's
have,
not in the office either. This is not an. This is not Mad Men. This is not. Yeah. So
it's not from your office drawer.
It is definitely not from my office drawer. Because I don't have drawers. I like to just have everything out in the open. No. This is all brought in courtesy of our team member Sean, who is a spirits aficionado.
I see.
Yeah. So he even at one point started his own gin line. So gin, meaning G-I-N. I just realized it could sound like gem line.
Show me the money.
So he graciously brought in just a portion of his collection that represents bourbon since today is National Bourbon Day.
Fantastic.
Now, do you want to try some of it? Are you more fancy?
We'll ease into the show.
You're going to ease into it? Okay.
We'll ease into the show. But this one's pretty cool. It's got like a horse on it.
Yeah.
Blanton's, the original single barrel bourbon whiskey.
Yeah, so what I know about this is I was on a river cruise. And people I was traveling with, they needed to buy some of these bottles at the duty-free shop and for their friends because they're different letters. And you collect them all. So this is like a very special. In fact, Sean said he only drinks out of it one time a year.
Oh, so I should put it down. Is what
Is
you're saying.
basically he's in his.
Well, I'm looking at it.
He's
It's-
watching the
it's
show
like
right now.
hand numbered with a pen.
Yeah. No,
That's
this
pretty cool.
this is a big deal.
This is bottle
And-
242.
And some of these bottles you can tell are made like handmade glass or artisanal glass. I'm not going to say handmade glass because they blow glass. But do you know the difference in whiskey and bourbon?
Ooh. I don't know that I do.
Okay, so I had to reach out to our journalist and executive producer here, Evan, and I said, "What is the difference?" And he said he did not know, and he did not go and find the answer. But producer Paul did. So apparently, there's the difference in bourbon and whiskey is bourbon has a higher percentage of corn in the mash, which is what makes it all happen. And then one of our team members,
So bourbon
Karen,
more corn than whiskey.
right?
Okay.
And it has to be aged for several years. And bourbon can only be made in America. It doesn't have to be made in Kentucky, but it has to be
Right.
made in America.
Now what about shine? What about moonshine?
Moonshine, you can make that anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Including now Sean's gin line. So like you've heard of like bathtub gin? Like from the 20s?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
from-
yeah.
Right? So was that what the kind of gin he made? We might have
You
to
know,
have him on one
as
time.
the savvy marketer that he is, and the fact that he's
Probably
got a
it
fancy
wasn't
collection.
bathtub brand.
Yeah, I doubt
That'd be a funny name though for gin. Bathtub gin.
I have a feeling that probably is taken. I feel
Probably
like,
someone
yeah,
has that.
I feel like someone would take it. So yeah, so that is why we have a collection of bourbon bottles. Thanks to Sean to help us celebrate National
I love
Bourbon Day. And I think I got that right. If any of you correct me, like Bill, if you correct me on my bourbon, I feel very proud.
Coming. It's coming.
I feel like it is. It's going to be like, no, it does have to be made in Kentucky. I don't know.
And it's
But
43% corn and
Jack Daniels, though,
Yes.
comes from, that's whiskey. That's
Right.
not bourbon.
Correct.
But it looks the same. So it just doesn't have as much corn, and I don't think it ages as long.
okay.
Now I just made that up. I don't know about the ages as long. I feel like
sounded
Sean was
plausible.
talking at me, and then I don't, and Paul, I don't know. I just heard something about corn, and I was surprised that corn was in it.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. If
Well,
you have
happy
some
Bourbon
bourbon, every time we say something not funny, then you take a drink. Yeah.
You can play along at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game, I promise. And it's also Father's Day weekend.
It is. That's right.
Yes. So, are you expecting a grand shindig with the fam?
No, and I'm expecting more of what you just saw me experience right before we went live, which was one of my daughters
that's what I was hoping
FaceTiming
we'd
me,
get to.
FaceTiming me from the store to say hello. No. To say I love you, Dad. No. To say, Daddy, can I buy these pair of shorts?
To which I said, "Of course, let her buy the shorts."
And to which I replied, Uncle Joshua would be happy to buy you the shorts.
Then he said, "How much are the shorts?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said $40, and I said, "Oh no way! You are not getting $40 shorts."
Like, what kind of shorts are $40?
I have no idea. But it's probably made with like zero material, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
But
Then to show you what kind of father I am, I let her buy the shorts, and for one reason and one reason only.
yeah, and this is
Of
really,
my three daughters.
This is really telling of you, though. This is go ahead and do it. I want to hear you.
So of my three daughters, my youngest, Bria, posted on Instagram last night several photos of her and I, and just the sweetest, Happy Father's Day post.
Aww.
And I told her, go ahead and buy the shorts, and I will reimburse you, just to prove a point to your other two sisters.
He did. I was like, "Where's this going?" He said, "Are your other sisters there?" And I was like,
I was hoping they were,
I was
but they
like,
weren't.
well, I wonder where he's going to go with this. And then he said that, and I was like, "Oh, that's how being a dad works." All right. Well, yeah. So if you're doing anything grand if you're a dad or you've got a dad in your life that you're going to be doing something for, share that in the comments. But we like.
Oh, I wish it was football season.
Is it not? Are we done with it now? Is it now baseball season?
It is baseball season.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, so if you're going to watch sports with your dad, then that's okay too. You can miss that. But we like to start our show with a warm-up question. And the warm-up question is for you, our live audience. And we want to see your answers. And I kind of teased it in my poor introduction to the show. But the poll question is, does it annoy you when someone says that they are going to give 110%? And we're just going to let that sit.
Just let it sit.
Yeah. You guys answer, and then we're going to
come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
Lovely.
Because there's a lot to talk about. There are
so much.
Yeah. I mean, Paul and I didn't have very much to talk about when we were broadcasting live from the Gaylord in National Harbor. And I don't know if you guys got to see the photo that we put on our Instagram story of how we made a makeshift studio in the in this suite that we had. But yeah, it definitely
that was
something.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
it was pretty awesome. So anyway, we got lots to talk about today. So where do you want to get started? Because I've got some stories, but you also said that you pulled some extra stories. So
Well, here's just one, because I know you love the sports ball.
sports ball,
The sports ball.
the sports ball.
Have you ever heard of Wrexham AFC?
I actually have.
You have,
Yeah.
because you are a fan of pop culture, correct?
I just made that up. I thought that we could just roll with it there, but
So Wrexham AFC is a Welsh football club, not to be confused with American football, but think soccer.
yeah.
And it's owned by a couple of Hollywood folks, Ryan Reynolds and
What does he not
Ryan
own?
McElhone. I don't know. That's a good question.
We need to get into his head. We need to figure out what's going on.
Cell phones, just also a gin company.
Yeah,
and lots of other things.
Yeah,
But
he's making now. He speaks at entrepreneur events.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Rob McElhenney is also on television. So they did a deal with United Airlines. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
So they're doing all kinds of product placement deals, and it's become a popular show. They have a show on FX called Welcome to Wrexham, which is one of the few kind of like reality shows that I do like. So now on flights, they're giving away these Wrexham-inspired toiletry kits that have the Wrexham logo, and United Airlines is one of their sponsors. So they're giving this amenity case and pajamas to anyone flying in their Polaris business class of 14 hours long or more. So you have to be on a long haul to get the pajamas.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was cool, and just really gave me an opportunity to talk about sports ball with you.
Okay, so is Wrexham the name of the team, or is it the name of a subsidiary of a football club?
It's the name of the club, but it's also the name of the town. So Wrexham is a town in Wales that has fallen on hard times after like the steel mills closed and all those kinds of things. And they had this little football team, and they were in like the sixth lowest division in English football. And now they've steadily been rising up the ranks over the last several years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
And they've become like international brand now, which is hilarious because it's this little. I mean, think of like, some minor league team being like an internationally known team. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
No, that's awesome.
So,
But the fact that you have to be on a 14-hour flight to get the pajamas, I mean, come on.
it's a long flight for some jammies.
Yeah.
Although if you're dropping like 10 bills for Polaris class on a long haul flight, they could at least throw in some pajamas, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want the bed sheets and the pillows and everything, so I can also take that with me. And that's a part of.
Do you take the salt shakers too?
I did against my will on Virgin. And I'd even said at the bottom. Actually, I think they're in here. I feel like we brought them in here.
Really?
Oh well, I think they are missing. Since Daniela was first in,
Yes.
to the chat, it just happens that today we have a. You have to wait for a minute because the sound's kind of funky, but here's the postcard. Y'all, I just flew back from LA. Like, I just got in the door. Like, I am feeling a little punchy. But
Tell me you wore that on the plane.
Oh, I did.
Yes.
I had so many people at the airport. So I like a little wrap because sometimes they get hot, sometimes they get cold on a plane. Mm-hmm. But this is so loud and bright. And people through Atlanta Airport, LAX Airport, mm-hmm. both ways. Oh my God, that would look so good on me. That's what they said, that it would look so good on them, which made me think, does it not look good on me, but it would look good on you? That's what I was kind of wondering.
I would take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I turned it around.
It can double. Is it long? Well, if it were long enough, it could double. It's like a Hare Krishna outfit.
Okay, it could. It's a nice meditational shawl. There we go.
A meditational shawl?
Yes.
I love that. Anyway, back to postcards.
Postcards. So, if you are new to the channel, we love postcards. And back in the day, we're talking going way, way back when you would travel, the way that you would show off to all of your friends at home that you were living the fancy life is you would send them all postcards. So we're wanting to bring postcards back into the mainstream because we feel like we've got the power to do that. So wherever you're traveling, send us postcards, and you saw the address on the thing there, but you can also look up our address too. We'll be
or you can just rewind.
Oh, yeah, you could just do that too. But Daniela, who was first in, she sent us a postcard from Alaska.
Love it.
This is a bald eagle reflecting sunrise colors surround a bald eagle perched on an iceberg in Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve. And it says, "Greetings from Alaska. I'm hosting a group of 14 on our Alaska cruise. We have an amazing group of people with us, and everyone is enjoying the cruise. Heart, Daniela." Thank you so much, Daniela, for sending us a postcard. Awesome. And we will be adding it to the wall. So if anyone else is going to hang the postcards, because Christopher comes in and hangs things, we want it to go like right there. There's fly like an eagle.
Like the eagle sitting perched on your shoulder.
Yes.
Love
like a
it.
Perched eagle.
That's fantastic.
Yes, so thank you, Daniela.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Anything going on in the chat over there?
Let's see here. Our Laura says, 2 songs in under 2 minutes. And bourbon. This is going to be a lovely afternoon. I love that. That is right, Laura. It will be.
She's sitting in Pennsylvania right now thinking, what is going to happen in the next 40 minutes?
Paul gave me a little shout out with the throwback of my holiday cocktail mixing demonstration that we did one time.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that.
You weren't?
No. I was
he
here.
Was here.
I wasn't here.
All right. So some of us weren't here, but I was here. Yeah. Okay.
Philly Hogan says, "Happy Friday."
I do remember because you made one specially for me.
I did.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can see it. It really struck a chord and a foundational memory in your life.
I'm here.
Amanda Sherman says, "Happy Friday" from Charlotte.
Hey, Amanda.
Sean has corrected us on our definitions.
I knew if I start talking too much about a subject I don't know, I'm going to step right in it.
Now, here's what I don't know.
Okay.
He didn't specify which is which. So he says at least 51% corn in the mash bill, made in America, and aged for 2 years in a new barrel.
That's bourbon.
There are bourbons from all over the U.S., Washington, Utah, Kentucky, Tennessee, and even Vegas. And he says that I should try the Smoke Wagon.
That's this one.
That's that one. All right. Dan says, "Just read my email that I want a gift card in the Auto Europe promo.
Oh,
That's
fantastic.
pretty cool. Well done, Dan.
So, do we have fireworks for that?
I'll do some
Yeah.
for you. I haven't even started the bourbon yet.
I like our fireworks, Evan. We should have more firework opportunities. Yeah, pachoo, pachoo, pachoo. Wow. All right, so we were in the intro. I was talking about Gen Zers set and sail.
Yeah.
And so we went, and I don't know. We've kind of had an obsession on Gen Zers. I don't know why. It's kind of like how everybody called anyone that was not a boomer a millennial.
Right.
So the fact that we're like honed in on Gen Zers, I don't know what that is. But anyway, that's what the news is all talking about. Those Gen Zers and their erratic behavior. I don't know. But we wanted to do some things to do on a cruise.
Okay.
We were going to do do's and don'ts. That's right?
It's unusual, or do you think it's unusual or not?
Oh, okay. So I've been corrected by producer Evan that I'm going to go through a list of things, and then you're going to say if you think it's unusual. Like, don't do it. Yeah, there we
Okay.
go. The titles messed me up, but that's okay. Now, I will say when I got on guard,
On guard.
when I got engaged
Yes.
on the NCL Viva last year, this was done to my room. It looked a lot better on my phone. It's very dark. But they went in and they put, does that say congratulations? Yeah, congratulations. What?
I was looking at the wall behind the decorations.
Oh, you thought they went and did some splatter
Some
paint?
splatter paint. I was like, what
No,
is going on?
they hung all this stuff.
I see.
Yeah. They didn't make my bed though. I'm noticing that they didn't make the bed. But anyway,
We had to stand on it to hang all the decorations.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, so they did this, which I thought was kind of fun, and they weren't. They were prompted, obviously, because I proposed on a ship. But I'm just saying.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So here's some things. Again, 10 unique things to do on a ship. You can tell us if it's a do or a don't. Decorating cabin doors.
I'm going to say it's a don't. It's okay if you have little kids. Because they really get into that.
Oh, do kids get into that?
Yeah. Well,
That's
kids like
interesting.
decorations of all
I mean,
kinds.
the cruises that I've been on, it's been like, just got married, anniversary, happy birthday. I've seen those.
Here for the bingo. Like it was...
Oh, I didn't see that.
No,
Okay.
that's not one.
So I've seen that. Now, what I do know about decorating cabin doors
Yes.
is you cannot do it on Virgin Voyages.
Well,
Yeah.
well, that lines up with my kid.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
let
it's just for
kids
the
on the
kids.
ships. Yeah.
Just for the kids.
All right, did you know that hiding rubber ducks around a ship is a thing?
It is.
Yeah.
I did know that.
Yeah. And don't
I
you,
don't know why.
Don't you put like hashtags or something on the bottom of your Instagram handle on the bottom of the duck? How does the duck
I don't
come
know.
back to you?
I don't
Or
know.
okay, you've not done the duck.
I'm useless here.
So you guys watching live right now,
Someone explain the duck business.
yeah, we need to know the duck business. Now, I have seen this.
Yeah.
Wearing matching T-shirts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
My wife is all about the matching T-shirts.
Oh, is she really?
Yes. Getting me to participate though is a different story, but she is totally on board, 110% with the matching T-shirts.
Love it. Okay.
What about you? Would you wear a matching T-shirt?
I would wear a.
Like one of those if you were with Mike and they both said like I'm with him and it had an arrow.
I probably would. It depends. If there was an opportunity to show off and get attention, I would do it.
Only if there was a prayer shawl that went with it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, something like that. You're really on this. I was just trying to
I love
like
it.
not be.
I'm just trying to
not
imagine.
in a T-shirt
No,
on the show. There
I
we
mean,
go.
I
I mean,
it's pure jealousy.
I'm purely jealous of your shirt with all these pineapples of various different degrees.
It's
It's a lot of pineapples.
it's a lot of pineapples.
Do you like pina coladas?
Yes.
Yes.
I really do like that. If I was wearing that, I don't know that.
Well,
I'd
now
pull it
you've
off.
actually said that now, like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
We've been together, and you're like, I like this thing that you're doing. I don't know that I could do it,
Right.
and I feel like we've got an opportunity over the next few months to branch you out a little
to
bit.
test that theory.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people would love that.
Yeah, I feel like John Trinesky would really love that too. So what I don't know what this is, and maybe I need more definitions, but going on a cabin crawl. I've heard of a pub crawl,
Right.
But I am not roaming into random people's cabins.
I don't know. That must be like a pub. It must be
Is
like,
that
kind of
what
like
it
a
is?
bar crawl kind of thing.
Oh, we have a
Hey, y'all. So it's what you said, pretty much. People want to see what the different rooms look like, much like an advisor might go to see different hotels throughout the day. That's the idea, at least.
So you have like open cabin hours. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
we're
know.
having an open house, 5 to
Yeah,
7.
I don't know if it's like, oh,
Stop
they left
by.
their door open and I'm just gonna go see. I'm sure you have to like arrange it, but
All right.
Wait. Okay. Now I'm even more confused.
But if you
Evan.
didn't know who that is our producer Evan, and so he now has a camera, so he can join in on the fun. So if you want to hear more from producer Evan, we want to know. But thank you for clarifying that there's a lot of different ideas around this.
So I want to
I'm
know if anyone
avoiding
out
the
there is
chat.
listening or watching the recording of this. Like, let us know. Have you gone to like a cabin open house like this? I'm baffled by that whole thing. Aren't you?
Okay, I am, but the only time I've seen something like that is more of what Evan was saying, is like when you're touring a ship.
Right.
And I was on the christening of the Avalon View.
Right.
And the cabin opposite me,
Uh-huh.
they had the door open
Right.
for that one. But that's also the one where I had fallen asleep after my transatlantic flight, and I was just in my underpants, and I had the panoramic suite, windows open, and the wind came off the water, filled up the curtains, knocked over the champagne glasses they had at, glass shattered. I woke up thinking that a sniper was after me because I lived the James Bond lifestyle. So that's an option. And when I turned around, my cabin door was wide open. So there could have been a cabin crawl that I was a part of that I don't recall. That's probably the fastest I've told that story. I was just with Pam from Avalon last night, and she was like, "Tell the story of you in your black panties on my ship."
Could you imagine walking through a
You're
river
like-
cruise ship, which isn't that big to begin with?
Right? You're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
let's
I want to
go.
see all the different types of the cabins,
Oh,
right?
both
I
of
want to
these are
see,
open."
like, oh, what has happened here?" Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's a don't on the cabin crawl. I feel like that's just because the door is open does
say
not
no.
mean you should go in.
We agree.
Yeah.
Two no's.
Participating in roll calls.
What is that?
What is a roll call?
like, here's my name. Like, yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I do know what this is.
What?
And I wish I had known that this was going to be in here because I have tried to do this. The animals that they make with the towels.
Yes.
Collecting animal. I don't think you're supposed to actually collect them. I think you just like take a picture of them. And be like
Right.
But when we were on Independence of the Seas, they did the towel animals, and I was like, that's pretty clever. That's
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Is it just me though? If you have to use rubber bands
That's
to
cheating.
keep it
That's
together,
cheating.
that's cheating.
That's cheating.
That's absolutely cheating. I don't care if you make it into a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
You cheated. It needs to all be
That's like using
self-sufficient.
scissors and glue to make origami. Like, come on.
Yeah. No. You heard it here first. We're judging. Evan, I don't know where you got these from, okay? Because I'm now I don't trust you because you have me now saying walking around the ship in a robe. I think that's a don't.
That's definitely a don't.
I don't even like when you go to a hotel and they've got the
Why would
pool.
people do that?
Like
Like if they're just going to the pool or the
yeah,
spa?
if
Is
you're
that
going to the pool.
It's meant to be unusual behavior. So we're saying, do we think this is okay? So if we
No,
don't think it's okay,
not-
then we
not
don't think
okay.
it's
Okay,
Not
it's
okay.
not okay.
Not okay.
Dancing at the deck party
The
is
issue is settled. Not
Yeah.
okay.
The dancing at the deck party is, you need to,
Sure.
absolutely need to do that. And bring your own decor.
No. No.
But for Royal Caribbean's World Cruise,
Mm-hmm.
and they had all the influencers on, they stopped off in IKEA, and the one thing I thought about it is, no, all publicity is good publicity, or no
Yeah.
publicity is bad publicity. That's what I meant to say. But when we were weeks in, and
Yeah.
they're showing all these photos of the cabins
Uh-huh.
and all their IKEA furniture, it looked like we moved into a dorm, and I was like. Is that saying that you don't have the right furniture on the ship? Like, to accommodate somebody on a world cruise? That I gotta go to IKEA and buy stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see it, if I was going to be on for 100 days and I needed some extra drawers or something like that, fine.
Yeah.
But if you're going for a week, no need to bring your own curtains.
No.
That seems weird.
No. Yeah. So, do we have any answers to the 110%?
We have 0% answers to the 100%, 10%.
Oh.
Apparently. The question was either missed or nobody cares.
All right. Well, so the question was, does it annoy you when someone says they're going to give it 110%? And I say yes, because you can't. 100% is 100%. There's not 110%.
You can't give more than you have.
Than you have. Right.
That's right.
All of it is 100%. So
do you fall into the bucket of 1,000% is also annoying?
yes.
Like 1,000%, yes.
And I also think the use of the word decimate bothers me as well.
Decimate?
Yes, because I had to double check this, but I did. And Evan's always like, "What's your source on this information?" It's Google. That's what it is. No, actually, it was Alexa. But decimate comes from Latin, and it is when the Romans would take over a city. They part of the punishment, what they would do to the city to destabilize it, is kill 1 out of every 10 soldiers. So that's what decimate means. So it does mean to destroy, to reduce, whatever, but it comes from there. So I'm just saying, I don't think we should condone that type of behavior.
Killing 10% of the people. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Bruce Paul agrees.
So,
But obviously you guys don't have a strong opinion on that one.
so speaking of cruises, you never know which poll question is going to get people excited. Sometimes we're like, that's a stupid poll, and we get 9,000 people reacting. So, you win some, you lose some. It's
Yeah,
okay.
unless we're talking about poll workers, which is a very polarizing topic.
That's right. So speaking of cruises,
Yeah.
so there's this survey that was done, talking about Gen Z,
Okay.
and 42% of those surveyed, and they surveyed people in Gen Z 18 to 25. I was really surprised by this. 42% of them have been on an ocean cruise or a river cruise already, not just ever in their life, but as an independent adult.
Oh, really?
So they've paid to go on an ocean cruise or a river cruise, 42%. And more than half of those said they're likely to book another voyage. Almost 40% of that, of the 50% of the half, very likely.
Interesting.
So a lot of them have done it already, and they want to come back. And I found that to be really interesting, and that's a much higher rate than just the general public that is likely to cruise again. So you look at all this cruise demand happening, right? All this cruise growth and all the new ships being built, and you say, my gosh, who's going to fill all these ships? Demographically, it sounds like there are a lot of satisfied future cruisers that are going to continue to drive that growth.
And the way you should look at it is that's filling your pipeline, right? Because if with certain cruise types, they would say only 55 plus is need apply, and that becomes very limiting in terms of your audience. So this is really very optimistic outlook on what the future is for your pipeline. Now there's going to be, you get some of this demographic into your mix.
Yep.
And they have these great experiences. They'll have families or start having families or whatever. Then you start getting into, all the different life cycle stages of a client. While you're still servicing, please, the Gen Xers. Hello, we need to travel. Anyway.
So of those Gen Zs that responded, the things that they like best about cruising were value for money, the different onboard experiences, the all-inclusive amenities available, and visiting multiple destinations in one go.
I love it.
Yeah, which kind of tracks with people in general, I think.
Yeah. And when you look at some of the ships, they're designed to be so Instagrammable. Not that everybody's on Instagram, but I'm just saying there are beautiful vistas at every turn. So one holiday on a cruise can yield tons and tons of photos to make your friends super jealous, right, Paul? Yeah.
So here's a question for another cruise story.
Okay.
What country has 4,000 miles of coastline but isn't a cruise destination that you might think of? But it is growing in popularity quite dramatically.
4,000 miles?
4,000 miles of coastline.
But it's not.
It is not Aruba. They might have 40 miles of coastline.
I know. I was like,
The Gen Zs and their math. You gotta check them.
Give
up?
I have. Well, you said it's a country, right?
Yes, it's a country.
Okay. I don't know. I don't want to say something and sound completely stupid, like Madagascar or something.
The answer is Chile.
Oh.
Chile. So Chile.
Oh God! It totally makes sense.
Yes. So a lot of people looking to get to the Patagonias.
Yes.
But more people are starting to do that via a cruise. And when you think about, the size of the country, it's really, long and skinny.
That's right.
Right
When you said that, I was like, that's a perfect.
And has some great ports, including Easter Island is actually technically part of that. Their cruise landings or the number of ship calls is growing, as is the passenger count. So keep your eye on Chile as a cruise destination, not one that we'd all think of every day.
And the way to pronounce it is Chile, not chili.
Right.
Right.
Chili is
Baby
something
back
you
ribs.
eat from Texas.
Yeah. Oh, my baby.
Chili's
Baby back ribs.
barbecue sauce.
All right, we got a few. I'm a huge Disney fan. We've got a few bits on Disney.
Yeah.
So last week, they after 2 years of construction, and much anticipation, Disney's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point officially opened on June 10th. And the occasion was marked by the inaugural arrival of the 4,000 passenger Disney Fantasy, the first ship to officially bring guests to the new retreat following a preview cruise that arrived on June 7th, which I think the June 7th one had a lot of cast members as well as some people from the travel industry. But I am very excited because one of our members got to go.
Oh, yeah?
And we haven't seen the photos yet, but I'm sure she was super excited and had a great time.
I've heard the responses have been very favorable.
Well, from the artist renderings.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they always clarify that. I'm like, I know the ship hasn't been built yet, and then it says artist rendering. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of obvious. Anyway, it looked very action-packed.
Yeah.
Last night I was at the Wave Awards, and they always do number one private island. Every year at all the awards, it's always perfect day at Coco Cay. So with Carnival's new island,
Starting to see some competition, you think?
I think Perfect Day is they're coming for you. Perfect Day. They have more Perfect Day.
So I was reading about this. Look, okay, there are a couple of things I thought was really interesting. One, they're only allowing one ship to dock there at a time. Now I don't know if that's because they'll only hold one or if that's just a decision.
Right.
But that, they're spinning it as, hey, there's going to be space. You can get a beach chair, right? It's not going to be a massive crowd all the time. They also have a nature trail, and I'm not normally like Mr. Nature Trail guy, but this I thought was pretty cool. They have QR codes like placed along the nature trail, so you can scan and like see what it is you're looking at.
Like
next
this
to
is a pine tree.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like that, like from horticulture. Like,
Correct.
They don't know there's an iguana. Like it's not in a cage.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No caged iguanas. But yeah, like this is a
But
hibiscus tree or whatever.
Animatronic one.
Yeah. And they also have water stations throughout, which I thought was okay. That's good.
Like splashy or drinky?
No,
drinky?
like
okay.
yeah,
drinky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool.
I would like an animatronic iguana to be like, fancy meeting you here. Like right by the drinking hole.
Like Country Bear style.
Yes. Speaking of Country Bear, thank you for that setup. So my favorite. Well, I don't know. It's Tiki Room and the
to the
Country Bear.
Tiki room.
To the Tiki. So anyway, Country Bear musical jamboree will debut on July 17th.
Okay.
And so it's been a part of the parks.
New
for
and
a long
improved?
time. It's for over 50 years the show's been running. That bear Tennessee, he's been performing for a very long time. Anyway, the Bears are back in the spotlight with some fresh country hits. A Bruin. That was Evan
Fresh.
a Bruin.
A Bruin.
Nashville style. So apparently, from what I hear, they're going to be doing some popular songs, but I hope they don't get rid of like the main song, like the hillbilly song. Ding 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 ding. I love that. I wish I knew the words to it. So I asked Alexa before the show. I was like, play the Country Bear Jamboree intro, and it had the Country Bears singing. And then all of a sudden, it went to a very strange place. Like I think somebody has like spliced that into like a very dangerous song. I don't know. Just don't be asking Alexa to play that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But did you like the Country Bear Jamboree when you were a kid?
Honestly,
or were you a ride guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was an air conditioning guy.
I was just gonna say, a great spot to cool off. It was really hot. But
Yeah. But as they knew it was going to be shutting down, apparently it was like one of the longest waits, and people were waiting in the sun to get in to see these bears. And
I heard 3 hours at one point. 3 hour lines. Yeah.
Okay, 3 hours for the show that's been running for 50 years. I'm just saying.
I don't think so.
YouTube.
Also, Disney, they finally reached their standoff with the state of Florida.
Oh.
And have reached a deal and have agreed to going to proceed with their $17 billion park expansion.
Billion.
And as part of that agreement, Disney's going to donate 100 acres for infrastructure projects and donate some money for affordable housing in Central Florida.
Oh, that's good.
So more things happening around Walt Disney World coming soon.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got that worked out.
So like I said, I was in LA
Yes.
Yesterday. I got there the day before, and I was like, you know what? isn't Disneyland in LA? And I looked, and it was like it would take me an hour to get there. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to pop by for fireworks. I looked at the ticket price, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely not popping by for fireworks. Like, I don't know. I guess because I think of Walt Disney World as this massive park, then I think Disneyland's going to be like, baby park.
Mm-hmm.
And it is baby park, but it is not cheap to get in. So next time I'll go, but I didn't this time. These are clanking away.
I know. I feel like it's about to fall off the table. Like
Do
they're
you
slowly
want
drifting.
to have a little splash of this?
We'll try it just to make Sean
Okay.
happy.
All right. All right. This is called High West. Do you shake bourbon?
No.
Okay.
I think he wanted you to do the smoke wagon.
Yeah, we'll do
smoke wagon. I think is what Sean said.
Oh, sorry. They both have the same type of bottle. I don't know. So this is from my QVC days. Make sure that the label stays right and shot. All right. And I'm just doing a little splash. A little splash.
little taste.
Do you swirl it around and you
I don't know.
put your nose in it?
It smells good.
Oh. So, what do we think? Are you a bourbon guy? Would you
No,
go to
I'm
a
not.
bourbon?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. I mean,
You feel all bourbon-y?
I'm on fire, but yes, it's good.
Yeah. Do you maybe you want to take him off camera so he can get a swig of a mixer or something? I don't know.
No, that was good.
Well, thank you, Sean, for bringing that in so we could celebrate National Bourbon Day. And I can smell it.
And I'm just gonna get another one of these bottles and get a straw going.
Is that gonna be your sippy cup?
Yeah.
I like it. Let's see. I want to talk about the. I want to do a victory lap.
Okay.
So, last week or this week?
Yes.
When was it? Where were we?
I don't know where
was
you're
it
going
this
with
week?
this.
Edge, Travel Leaders Edge.
Yes.
So we were at an industry conference called Edge, and you and me, and
We were there.
Evan and Paul,
Lots of folks.
and the whole Hee Haw gang were at National Harbor, the Gaylord at National Harbor, and we won several awards.
We did.
Yes. We won the chairman's, well, we won a Travel Leaders Network Agency of Excellence Award.
That's right.
And we won the Chairman's Elite Award because if you know me, you know I like to be elite.
Hashtag not basic, right?
Yeah, not basic, not boring. And then, third year in a row, Worldview was named the Associate Host Agency of the Year.
Wow.
Let's Sharpie drop.
Sharpie.
So, I just want to say it feels it's so cool.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone on our team. But if you just watch this show and you think this is it, there's a whole lot more that goes on here. Like we don't just work all week.
We're just the
to do
beautiful
this.
figureheads.
Oh, he
No,
could have said figureheads, but he added beautiful.
Yeah,
And I was like,
well,
you had me at beautiful.
Yes.
No.
But you're right. There, certainly an award like that is all of our members, all of our team working together to do some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that it's humbling and we're just really appreciative of everyone's contributions to that.
Yes. And I just want to give you a little behind the scenes. I don't have video of it, but we were standing. They had at this conference. They had giant auto cues that hang from the ceiling, teleprompters, and you would think for an award show they wouldn't put the winner on the auto cue, but they did. So Jason was kind of sitting with his back to me, looking at the stage. And somebody beside me, so somebody beside me was looking at the auto cue and saw that we won after you had just gone up to get an award. And they pointed out to me before they had announced it, I was squealing and I was hitting you on your back, and you were like, calm down, calm down. And then I walked up to stage with you, and I had these little gold slippers on. And I'm talking about Country Bear Jamboree. My foot busted out of them, so I had a blowout. And when Roger Block was, when I got on stage and saw him, I said, I had a blowout. And he said, of course you did. And then we took the picture.
So I want you to put it on your imagination caps for a second. When Joshua said he was wearing slippers, and
I was Aladdin. I was doing Aladdin.
you were. It was a full Aladdin outfit.
Yeah, it was. It was. We were sitting with Disney Destinations.
Yes.
And I thought I would do Aladdin, and I just didn't realize that my slippers could not contain my feet. So the whole night I had one foot all my toes sticking out. So anyway, but real cool honor. Can't wait for the awards to come. We're not going to be like that cliche YouTube show where they put the awards on the wall. They might be there. Just saying. But they have not arrived yet. So anyway, cool. What do you have there? Oh. Whenever their name gets mentioned, it's like Voldemort.
The airline that shall not be mentioned, right? So we just have to. It's a big story, so we just have to say a few words about it, I think. So American Airlines, right? And they made lots of news over the last many months saying, hey, travel agencies, we don't really care about you guys, and we're gonna. Want you to change how you book our flights. We're going to pull content from the traditional channels, and we're not going to let your clients earn miles if
they book with you.
So naturally, the industry did not like that. But interestingly, you know who else didn't like that, Joshua?
Who didn't like that?
The investors. And as much as we think the airlines and all of our suppliers care what we think, and they do. They really care what Wall Street thinks. So here's something that's interesting. I went back and looked. If you went back to the 1st of April, not that long ago, a little over 2 months ago, United, Delta, and American, year to date, their stock performance was about even.
Okay.
All about the same. Since then, which has been the bulk of when kind of the fallout from some of these new policies have taken place. Delta's stock pretty much flat, up 1%. United, up 4%. American, down 28%. They've lost $2.8 billion of market value in their business in the last little over 2 months.
Yeah.
And the large institutions and hedge funds and mutual funds and pensions that essentially call the shots for the board of directors said enough's enough. And combined with the travel industry's lamentations, produced some change. So what's interesting is as an industry, advisors and agencies are not, shall we say, jumping on the bandwagon to let American back into their good graces.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see what American does to earn your trust back.
Yeah.
And it will.
It's going to have to be big, though.
I was going to say, it's going to have to be something substantial.
Every time their name gets mentioned, it's like, yeah.
So,
my, once bitten, twice shy.
So I also have a story for you here. So Tauck, high-end tour operator. So they're introducing some...
And River Cruise.
Yes, and River Cruise. They're introducing some small group tours.
Yeah.
Around 15 passengers. And that's really cool. And as I was reading this, I was thinking, there's larger tour operators, folks like Globus.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people, advisors even, know that you can take an off-the-shelf Globus tour product and turn it into a private tour.
Yeah.
So, you can do, if you have one guest or 24 guests, you can take like something like Globus, and there are others, but a tour that Globus does that's designed for a coach,
Yeah.
and make it for a group of 6.
Yeah.
Now the price you're going to pay is higher than for a coach tour,
Right.
but you're getting a private tour. So just
Well, and
So-
I've got a business tip here.
Yeah.
Make that money fall from the sky, because this is a good one. One agency owner that we know
yes.
has done that before. So they haven't. They've put together these trips, but have not filled the whole coach. Okay.
Right.
So, but they're the leader of their group, and so when they get on a coach, it's noticeable. When they stop off at hotels, it's noticeable. He has picked up so many new clients. Not because you're not out there hawking your wares when you're on these trips, or you shouldn't be. But if you create enough attraction with what's going on and excitement, people are going to want to be a part of that. And so he does charter his own tours, full-size tours, because he's picked up so many people along the way that are like, oh, I want to, I like traveling with a tour company, but I want to travel that same way, but with somebody that's like my person. So he's created a whole tribe around that idea of a small tour within a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's certainly that opportunity, but also if you have clients who you're looking to put together, an FIT trip, and maybe you're just going to do it all in piecemeal or work with the DMC, taking an off-the-shelf product that's got a good core itinerary can be a much more efficient way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's something I don't think a lot of advisors think about.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, Tauck coming out with small tours as well.
So we had kind of a quick release from Christine Karst from Alma Waterways, who announced that they're going to start building their second Alma Magna ship.
Do they need like a some kind of like epic symphony thing when you say Alma Magna?
It's also a little more like a Hollywood thriller, right? Like
Alma Magna.
That's exactly how Christine would do it. So expected to debut in 2027.
Yep.
So the idea, if you've not been on the Magna, which I've not been on the Magna,
I haven't either.
But it is, they made it as big as it could possibly be, because these rivers are, there's some limitations. We have been on a ship going past the Alma Magna, and you're like, I'm in a little rowboat. Like,
did it just like dwarf?
It did. But there are, the locks and things like that has to get through. So anyway, that's an exciting thing, and many of our advisors have created groups on Alma Magna. We've taken people on groups on Alma Magna. So excited about that. The ship is 72 feet wide, almost twice the width of the Alma Waterways other ships.
Do you know what they call that in river cruising?
What's that called?
A double wide. They don't like us saying that.
Yeah. I like Christine, so I'm not even gonna find that funny. There you go. Remember, that's her calling you right now. I swear, I'm not lying, guys. We're doing this show, and everybody in the room is so quiet and fun. And whoever he knows is trying to get him through the entire hour. Like, it's probably your daughter trying to get those shorts. Anyway. I got a couple of rapid things here.
Yeah, shoot.
So MSC Cruises announced in a press release that the President Ruben Rodriguez will retire from his role effective April 30th, 2025. Lynn Torrent, who has been MSC's Chief Commercial Officer, will become the President of MSC Cruises USA beginning on May 1st, 2025, consistent with the company's succession plans. So... there's always whenever there's a changing of the guard, there's always changes. But MSC is really been having a lot of momentum, so I expect that this will be received extremely well. And then ALGV levels up with their new luxury collection
Yeah,
that they've been
saw
talking
that.
about. So Lux by ALG Vacations will feature nearly 450 hotels, luxury hotels, and concierge services in the destinations where ALG Vacation operates. In Mexico, the Caribbean, Europe, and parts of Asia and Africa. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing here because we are almost out of time. But the thing that I want to just highlight here is a lot of the reasons why an advisor would not book through a tour operator is because they're kind of giving up control, especially with clients who command more of that luxury high-touch service.
Yeah.
So in response to that, ALG has put together this whole program. And I'm excited about it.
I am too.
Because working with the one-off hotels is, I'm looking at our Paul here, and that's what he does all the time, and I know this is going to be a game changer. So please look out for more information.
And a lot of boutique properties, for what I understand. Plus, there's a dedicated Lux concierge team.
Yeah, so even though you
Big
might
part
go
of that.
through some of the same automated inboxes, things like that you
Yep.
think, oh, that's not high touch, when it is identified as one of these programs, then it does go to a team. So
Yeah.
don't let some of the automated routing throw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a small but capable team that you can actually get to know, I think is kind of part of
Yeah.
what they're going for.
So
which
as
is-
massive as the company
Yeah.
is, they're
was like,
they're
that's
giving
smart.
you an option there. So
That's
can't wait to hear more on
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
The last thing I'm going to say, because we are at time, Nathan's Hot Dogs has banned Joey Chestnut from Major League Eating Contest. I know a lot of you are sighing right now.
It's a travesty.
The 16-time reigning champion lost his spot in this year's competition after signing an endorsement deal with a company that makes plant-based hot dogs, potentially clearing the way for an underdog. And that came from you, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave that story. I know we're almost at time, but I want to give Jason 20 seconds to give one more story that he had that he was excited about. That
Which one,
I
Evan?
believe it has to do with the psychic. Actually, I knew
Oh.
it was going to have to do with the psychic.
I think it has something to do with a psychic.
Very important news. The city of Norfolk, they've repealed a ban on psychic readings,
I didn't
citing industry growth and gaining acceptance among their population.
That's interesting.
Now, they
How-
interviewed one of the local psychics,
Okay.
and her quote was, "While the tarot cards are never wrong, they didn't see this coming." Drum roll, Evan. There's your cue.
And this
This
is
is
what
why we end on a hard 1 hour and don't go over.
Yeah, that extra 2 minutes. There we go. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in live and for watching us on demand or listening to us on your favorite podcasting station. Please make sure you subscribe, hit that bell to get notified, and also give us some love whenever you're watching us. If you're watching us right now,
Yeah.
love us. You're gonna love me. Anyway, thank you so much for a great show.
Thank you all. We love you. Send us bourbon if you like.
Oh, you got to be careful. I said Disney castles are my collections, and now I get random castles. Some of them
that's a
I do
beautiful
buy for
thing.
myself, so but I'm just saying, some of them I don't.
We love you. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Bye.